years now. I've been in all of the schools in different capacities, including volunteering in the classrooms. I 100% support the teachers and the staff, but to say I've resigned myself to years of mediocrity we've become accustomed to in this district would be an understatement. I'm not here to speak on my personal experience or opinion, though. I have volunteered to read a statement on behalf of a teacher currently serving in our district. To the concerned stakeholders and community members of Columbus, Wisconsin. I'm a teacher in the Columbus School District, and I'm writing this letter to the community to thank you for your support. Let me begin by thanking you for your movement towards improving communication, culture, and education of students within Columbus. I will say that I would never speak for others, and I do not wish to cause any issues for members of the education staff. Though I know many in the district share my concerns, I'm not their voice. I mention this out of respect for my colleagues, as well as to say I would not endanger their positions or standing within the district. I do mention specific cases here, but those were based on my observations, and any individual educators mentioned have no idea I'm writing this, so it should not come back to hurt them. I will comment on concerns of Shane Guiley and Emily Sullivan addressed at the last school board meeting.
Monica, those comments are, again, I'm going to warn you that this is your opinion, that you are stating on somebody else's behalf, but you are responsible for speaking them. You can choose to proceed if you wish, but you can be held responsible for inaccuracies, slander, defamation that is stated.
Okay. The silence within the schools is a problem, but I'm going to have to disagree with the calls for a communication director. Frankly, the last thing this district needs is another inventive administrative position, or for that matter, private consultant or firm. Communication is the duty and obligation of the superintendent, so why should we pay someone else to do something that is her job? The administration and board president's language is unfair, as is their secrecy. They don't want any of us to speak out. It might reveal unfairness. Teachers, in my opinion, are being pushed out of their positions willy-nilly into different buildings and without their input, and no one in the community knows. Just like no teachers, no board members, no parents know what the district has been paying to these consulting firms the superintendent has hired. The lack of communication hurts everyone. It creates problems between teachers and families, and in the culture created by top administration, we have fears and we have experienced bullying. There needs to be more transparency in all matters relating to education here. Why are certain classes and credits cut by administration regardless of student, parent, and teacher input? When we ask these questions, we are given odd data and policy, a complete disregard to students' welfare. In terms of staff retention, we are losing educators at an alarming rate, and is not over our huge salaries. Lack of retention is the result of how administration addresses our ideas, concerns, and efforts. Our staff knows their subject areas, knows students, and knows how to change and create. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to create, nor are we trusted to do so. The math departments in all buildings know the curriculum they're forced to teach is terrible, but they are told they cannot change it. And over the past few years, administration has paid consultants to provide training. This training occurs on in-service days in the middle of the school year and in the summer. After these sessions, consultants come in for scheduled observations, very short bursts where we are not allowed to provide students any review, lab work, or assessments, regardless of where we are in our curriculum. Then when we are taken out of class to hear what the consultant has to say about our teaching, it is disruptive and becomes staged. Rather than ask the faculty what changes we would like to see or try in the classroom, admin has hired private firms to dictate. It is ineffective, and unfortunately, the current assessments may reflect that. I work with great teachers who have ideas for the classroom, but sadly, administration doesn't believe in us. And if admin's dedication to data itself were real, there would be encouragement to follow the latest research on the power of recess and play. Instead, the superintendent will not hear of anything less than constant instructional minutes, even at the elementary level. And what are these strange, undefined positions continuing to emerge? Educational coaches, consultants, and more administrative positions. Instead, admin should trust teachers. We know the kids and their needs more than the people that spend their time in offices away from these students. Don't cut teacher prep time while piling on more and more course loads, and then tell us we can't say anything about it. The superintendent needs to get the memo. She's not the CEO of a private company, but the leader of a public school district.
That's your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Martha Rule.